Hello, and thank you very much for watching today's show. We've got Brad LaChance on the phone here. Thank you very much for being with us tonight, Brad.
Oh, yeah.
And now there is a man sitting on death row out of somewhere, maybe it's Florida, who says that he's too fat to be executed. And you know what? I agree with him. I agree with him. In fact, I think he should be released immediately. I think he should be fed as many Totino's pizza rolls as he wants and flown out to whatever exotic destination he chooses. I think he deserves it. I mean, he was just trying to steal a TV, for God's sakes. I mean, he didn't know that this woman would try to stand in his way.
Oh my God, you tried to steal a TV, huh?
And he ended up killing a lady for her TV and her purse. Don't you think it's a little extreme what they're trying to do to him? Especially given the fact that he's an obese man.
Yeah, I'd say murdering someone because they stole a TV is a little too extreme.
Also, Brad, the Joker, James Eagan Holmes, his defense is about ready to gear up for an insanity defense. Have you been following this James Eagan Holmes story?
Following, no, I know the story. I don't know where it's at.
What do you think? Do you think he's insane?
Well, I mean, that's a relative term. He may just be insane. He may just be insane, but I wouldn't be qualifying him. I wouldn't be the one to diagnose him. He looked pretty adamant in the picture that I saw of him.
Actually,
Bag of mushrooms.
that's absolutely true. When you look at the pictures, he definitely looks like he's on something, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Being medicated.
I read an article about him today, and in the article it says that he was experimenting with hallucinogens, acid, and mushrooms, and that he was diagnosed with a form of bipolar disorder that involved delusions.
I further read that he was a very, very hermetic individual. Went through his entire schooling career and virtually talking to no one.
You're talking about Holmes, right?
Yeah.
And
Article.
this article here, you should read it. It's from the New York Times. It's from August 26th. And it goes in depth on exactly what's going on there. Here's where it talks about what Holmes was doing. He confided little about his outside life to classmates, but told a stranger at a nightclub in Los Angeles last year that he enjoyed taking LSD and other hallucinogenic drugs. He had trouble making eye contact, but could make surprising forays into extroversion, mugging for the camera in a high school video. The other thing that I found interesting is that he had contact with a girl in his class, and he said something like, "Stay away from me, I have just been diagnosed with this disorder. I'm bad news," or something. And then 2 weeks later he did it. Brad, did you know that I went and I visited James Holmes' residence not too long after this occurred?
You visited the residence?
I know the neighborhood. It's Peoria and Colfax. You know that neighborhood, Peoria and Colfax in Aurora?
Oh, yeah, I know that's Peoria, Colfax. Yeah, that's there's a bus stop there. There.
That's really that's the armpit of the Denver metro area. I mean, when I heard that this event took place, you immediately think it's a white guy, a loner. I mean, those are the guys that usually undertake these, mass killings and serial killers. Almost always a white guy. But then when I heard the neighborhood, then I changed my mind. I thought, because they weren't showing his picture initially, then I thought, a black guy did this? I was surprised by it because it's right there in, Colfax and Peoria. And then we later find out, I was vindicated, it was a white guy that did it. And it's just bizarre. I thought it's bizarre that he lives in that neighborhood, and then we find out that he's studying in the neuroscience program, out of that medical center there. But to begin with, you have to be crazy to live in that neighborhood, especially if you're from an upper class family like himself. I was immediately intrigued by this guy, so I took the 15 down to Colfax and Peoria. I went into a bar that I found out in this article that he frequented. I asked the security guard there, you know anything about him? You ever meet this guy? Security guard said, no, he never came in here. And he kind of he looked at me like, what are you trying to do here, buddy? He was very skeptical of me. And I was also able to get an interview with a girl that was working at a convenience store over there. I wrote it down.
You got disconnected?
No, I'm still with you. I'm just looking to see what. That's the beginning part of it. Okay. Hold up.
Come on.
I wrote a lot here about this. Anything that you want to add as I look for this? Okay, here it is. It's a Conoco on East Colfax that I went into. There was an Indian girl working there. I asked her if James Holmes had ever been in there, and I asked her if it looked like he was on drugs when he came in. She said no. Her response was, he was a really nice guy. He was always nice. I can say nothing bad. Really nice guy.
Wow.
It was kind of crazy the way that she was defending him. It's almost as if she didn't realize what atrocities he had undertaken.
I guess she felt like he was a really nice guy that day. That day of the week.
How have you been?
Seemed to be a lot of people thought it was out of character for him to go to a kid and pull off a mass murder.
Thanks again for joining us, Brad.
Alright, are you gonna...
I'll talk to you again off air.
Alright, man.